Hello, everybody. I'm standing on the banks of the Boise River, about 5 miles, 6 miles upstream from Boise, Idaho. I grew up on this river. I floated it and fished it and hunted on it. It's a wonderful, wonderful flood of memories that are in my mind as I speak. I hope you have good memories, because the more experiences you have in life, the happier your life will be. All too often, people just keep themselves to their little confined area, don't do much more every day than they did the day before, have their own little routines, and the time marches by either side, left or right, forward or backward, and one day they wake up and they're old. One day they say, "How come I waited? Why didn't I do that?" It's because of the way you think and the way you live and the way you speak. The most exciting part of life is adventure. You weren't put on this earth just to sit in a couch, just to do nothing but the bare minimums. No, no, no. Life is not a resting place, it is a testing place. And the amount of service you render to another human being is the measure stick for how far along that trail of life you actually go. Lots and lots of memories right here where I'm standing. But had I stayed home, had it been too cold, had it been too far, one excuse is as good as another when you're making them, then I would have never had the experiences that I vividly remember and give me great joy now as I think back. You know, this is a major tributary of the Snake River. And the water that flows behind me right here will eventually wind up in the Pacific Ocean. Now, throughout these video series, we've been on a lot of rivers, haven't we? We've stood on a lot of creek banks and bridges. There's lots of different adventures all around you. But if you're afraid to take a risk, if you're just too scared to stretch yourself out of your comfort zone so as to try something new that you've never done before, then you're going to miss a whole lot of life. The last thing you want to do, in my opinion, is to go to your grave with your song still inside you, never sung, because you were worried about how you sang or what your noise was or whether anyone would be offended by it. Listen, quit worrying about what other people think and do your own thing. Make your own experiences and memories. Those precious baby dolls that you hold in your hands and get mad because they make a mess or break something or don't do what you tell them, one day you'll sob, remembering all the hugs you could have gave, all the nibbles and kisses you could have given, all the little piggy stories you could have told on their toes. On the other hand, if you do those things and you rejoice with adventure, not be afraid to take a risk, step out of your comfort zone and stretch yourself into the fringe of fear, those memories stay with you forever. And even when your little babies grow up and become adults and make babies for themselves, they'll know who you are and they'll remember who you are and what you did, and they'll want to sit in your lap and have bear stories told to them. The time clock of life waits for no one. It's constantly ticking off. It's constantly moving on. Time cannot be saved, can't be invested, can never be reclaimed. Make the most out of life and do what this body of water behind me does. It goes with the flow. But in going with the flow, never be afraid to make a U-turn and buck the current. Dead fish float. Live fish swim upstream against the current. Nothing is scary out there that you've allowed to happen in your mind. How do I know that? Because I've been out there, and I was more scared before I made the trip than you are right now. You don't have to be any more than what you are. There's a whole nother world 500, 600, 700 miles from here to the Pacific Ocean. This water's got a long way to go. And so do you. And so do I. So remember, it ain't over till it's over. And it's never too late to start again. But one thing's guaranteed for sure. It's always too soon to quit. Hey, use what you've got while you can use it. Those are the things that'll mean the most to you when your physical body can no longer keep up with your brain. And we all get there. The more you do while you're young and full of fire, the more you'll have when you age and are forced to slow down. Don't be afraid of anything. Go do what you were created to do, and that's to love and serve your fellow man, all for the glory of your Creator. Love is an action word, so is faith. You have to move to apply it. And therefore it always has works, fruit that people can see. Good trees produce good fruit. Always. Why don't we wade out into this stream and mentally and see where it takes us? Could be kind of exciting if you just relax and enjoy the journey. God cannot steer a parked car. So put yours in gear and get out into the mainstream and let God guide and direct you on your pathway to success. Peace and love to all of you. Papa Bear.